Today's outfit is going to be a pretty simple one, and it's something that I feel like I've worn a number of times, but I've just kind of done a different combination. So I have an H&M kind of striped shirt. It's a short sleeve shirt, and then I've paired it with my Ann Taylor Loft. It's supposed to be a wrap cardigan, but I just took off the belt, and I just wear it as a plain cardigan. And then I have my navy blue, these are my J. Crew Frankie pants with my Tory Burch green shoes. Pretty simple, comfy, and yet I still look like a teacher professional. So this week is a really fun week, along with just some of the great things that are happening in the classroom. I have lots of little home improvements that are going on at my house right now. My mother is coming along with my brother this weekend, and I am working really close with HomeChef once again. And I just want to say a really quick thank you to all of you who went out and used that code Bridget30 to be able to use on your first HomeChef box. If you haven't used it, this is another really great opportunity for you to be able to use it and to try it out, because I mean, really, you're getting 2 free meals. It's worth a shot, right? I'm going to be working with HomeChef for the rest of this year, which I'm really excited about, so you guys are going to see them popping up inside of my vlogs. And I think it is such a beautiful partnership, just because for me, as being a mom and a teacher and someone who has businesses on the side, I am unbelievably busy sometimes. Most likely the kids are going to be inside today. They're probably going to be inside all week. It looks like a rainy week in general. So I think I'm gonna need lots of little prayers that everything goes well this week, that we don't have any fires that we're gonna have to put out, because everybody's being contained into a little building together. They all go crazy after a while. All right, I'm gonna get my stuff unpacked. I'm gonna stop rambling, and then I will check in with you guys in a bit. Okay, so I have my morning message up on the board. We're talking about social isolation because it is Hello Week. Their theme is that it all starts with a hello. So I kind of revolved my message around that this morning. They have their assignments to finish, have my day up on the board, so that is ready to go along with the dates. One thing that we're going to be doing this week, along with some different activities that we have, is that today all of the kids are going to be getting a hello my name is sticker. They're going to write their names on the sticker, and then they're going to be wearing it all day long, and this is the entire school. So I challenged my kids today to say hello to somebody in the hallway, somebody that they don't know, and to try to use their first names in it. We're going to see how many of them actually do it. I'm also going to have them try to memorize who they did it, and if they do, I'll just give them some sort of candy at the end of the day. But a nice little treat, and also a challenge for them to be able to kind of pull themselves out of that I'm just kind of nervous to say hello to people that I don't know, because sometimes it does start with that hello, and it does really help people. And in my opinion, there's something special between saying like hello to somebody, which I think is really great and really special, but when you say hello to somebody using their first name, it makes you feel so much more wanted. I mean, come on y'all, let's think about those times when we were in high school and we were like, oh my gosh, Billy said hello to me and he used my name. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of have those memories of being like, oh my gosh, so and so does know who I am. It makes you feel loved, and it makes you feel wanted, and I don't know, it's just a really good feeling. So I challenged my kids to do that this morning, and then I am still in the process of getting all of my other things together. I wanted to give my message out. Sorry guys, somebody came in my room. Okay, I'm gonna have to let you guys go because I have a meeting this morning. Well, actually it's not really a meeting, I'm just meeting with my 2 partners. It's our day today to kind of meet as a vertical team, and I lost track of time. So I am gonna challenge them to say hello. Hello to all of you. Make sure that we start that conversation down below, saying hello to one another, getting to know one another on this community, because I think it is very special that we have this here together. And yeah, all right, I'm getting mushy. I need to let you guys go, and I'm gonna focus on my job. It's the end of the day and I'm just making it home, and I completely forgot to do any videoing as I was trying to get my things and walk out of the school building. I had kind of a stressful day. It started off really well, and as the day went, my kids just got incredibly talkative. My math group could not handle the talking today, so I'm gonna have to come up with something in order to help kind of prevent that. In my math groups, I want them to sit inside with their groups. So I have 4 different tables, I have 4 math groups. So at each table is a math group. So if you're in the place value group, you sit with all the place value kids at that table. so that it allows for more collaboration. I think it's better that when they have questions and they can talk with one another, they can do it with their groups. They're not asking somebody else in a different area. They're kind of talking and collaborating with their math group. Well, yesterday was not good, and today was not good. So it kind of just spiraled from there, and I could not get out of the funk. I was so crabby by the end of all of it. I told my husband, I was just like, I feel like I just need to talk about the word study when I get home, because I am so stressed out, and I can just feel like the anxiety and the like, it's just a really bad feeling. Kind of like heartburn, but it's not heartburn. I don't know how else to explain it, but I had like this total anxious feeling, and I just needed to get out of the school building. So I'm literally like, as soon as I dropped the kids off, I packed my things up and I came home. Other bad news is it's really now starting to pour as I've been sitting here waiting to get out of the car. Good news though is I thought my home chef was going to be coming tomorrow, but it's actually here right now, which is so nice because I had nothing planned for dinner. I had no idea what we were about to eat. We were gonna scrounge something because I had no plans. So I'm gonna talk word study when we get into the house, and I'm also going to make my home chef meal. Okay, so I had an opportunity to come home and say hi to the kids, say hi to my husband, and then I took a little bit of kind of me time. I watched a video that ended up making me cry, to be honest. But I wanted to show you guys the two options that we got from Home Chef this week. So one of them is the empanada rice bowl, which looks so good, and I'm very excited to eat this. However, we are not having this one tonight. Tonight we are gonna do the mesquite steak, which looks really good, and to be honest, I just really wanted to eat those cheesy potatoes. That's kind of what said, I think this is the mesquite night, to be honest. So what I think is gonna happen, I'm pretty sure, but I'm gonna be making the potatoes and the kale here inside the house, and then my husband's actually gonna make the steak out on the grill, and then we're gonna eat it that way. This says to cook it on the pan, but I think we just prefer steak on a grill. So I'm gonna get everything taken out of those bags that are over there, and I'm gonna show you guys all that came along with it. Okay, so I just got the potatoes into the oven. I have 20 minutes before I have like hardcore cooking, and I need to stay focused on what's going on in the kitchen. So I figured in this 20 minutes, I'm gonna try and talk to you guys about my word study. I'm not gonna go in like through all of my word study just yet. It's probably going to be over a few days just because it is that big, and I can probably sit here and talk to you guys for maybe about an hour to 2 hours about what I do for word study. So instead for today, I'm just going to talk to you about the gist of my word study and how we ended up setting it up for our team. Now granted, a lot of you are not going to have these issues, but maybe this might work for some of you. So take it with a grain of salt, try to figure out pieces that you feel are going to be beneficial for you and your kids, and then tweak it to fit your rooms. Not what I do is going to exactly fit your needs, so just kind of keep that in mind. All right, so I'm gonna turn over to like my full screen for my iPad so that you guys can kind of see, and I'm gonna do some drawing and some diagramming and all that good stuff on what in the world it is that we do for word study. Okay, so in word study we have 3 different types of groups. You have, and this is for Words Their Way, which is an actual, it's like a program that ends up happening. You can purchase the text, you can purchase the books. I will leave some links down in Amazon if you would like to try to start putting in and implementing word study into your own school. If you don't already have some sort of, you know, district-wide or school-wide implementation of a certain like program. So you have 3 different colors. You have yellow, and this is coming off really light. Yellow, which is called Within Word. And then you have green. I'm gonna switch my colors here so you guys can see. Green is going to be your syllables. Did I spell that right? Syllables. Alexa, how do you spell syllables?
Syllables is spelled S-Y-L-L-A-B-L-E-S.
All right, and then you have your blue, which are going to be your prefixes and your suffixes. and I apologize if I start to write sloppy. This ends up happening whenever I am teaching. I just have a tendency to try to look either at the camera or I'm looking at my kids. So I'm just like writing off to the side so that I constantly have my face forward instead of kind of looking at the board and watching what I'm writing. I look at them the entire time so they can see that I'm fully engaged in what they're doing. So I'm trying to do the same thing with you guys. So we'll see how it ends up working out for me. Okay, so we have the 3 different groups. And for our kids, what we did is we did the test for word study. And this again comes in with the Words Their Way program. You can give them assessment. They have the words. They have a way for you to be able to figure out where exactly they end up falling with the assessment. So we found that we have a huge amount of kids who fall right within, get a little highlighter here, right within this blue prefixes and suffixes group. It's huge. And then we have a few more that are kind of straggling into the green, which is not so much. And then again in the yellow, which is, we have some, we don't have a ton. Get another yellow here. We have some, but not a ton. So the way that we had to get it set up is that we decided that we were going to operate on cycle days. So here's kind of how our cycle days have it. We have cycles. We have cycle 1, we have 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, and day 6. Now, something to kind of keep in mind, because for me, in my group, I have yellow and green in my classroom because there's not as many of them. We couldn't do that with any of the other ones because, well, it's like I said, it's like huge amount of groups. So I think the other 2 rooms have about 27 to 28 kids in their room for blues. And so they both teach blue lessons. They might be teaching the same lesson, they might be teaching different lessons, but they're kind of figuring out how they're gonna break up their blue groups. So I have the green and the yellow groups inside of my classroom. And the way that I ended up having to work this is that I'm gonna have to teach them on alternating cycle days because I can't teach within that 40-minute period 2 greens and 2 yellows, which is what I currently have right now. I have 2 green groups and 2 yellow groups to really kind of fit to where they are working and where they need. And the reason why we're doing this, because I know some of you are probably like, Bridget, why don't you just push them together and just have 1 green group, 1 yellow group? Well, I don't really want to do that right now because a lot of these kids, I had these kids last year, so they've already gotten the instruction for me. And I felt bad just pushing them back because I had other kids who wanted to go back. So I'm trying to keep them in where they are now because they're going to pretty soon evolve and start going into some blues. So some of my greens are going to end up leaving me during the year and they're going to head to blues, and then kind of that idea of it. So I have 2 green groups and 2 yellow groups, and there are currently 4 blue groups. So I needed to figure out, because I can't do all 4 within a 40-minute period. It just doesn't work that way. I have to have 20 minutes to teach a single word study like lesson, and I can only do 2 on 1 day. So here's how we ended up figuring it. I said, okay, well, what if we just did alternating? Because there are some things that other groups can be working on. For instance, we really wanted to pull out vocabulary. We felt vocabulary is very important and we're not spending a ton of time in vocabulary. So there may be 1 week where I have my green groups are working on vocabulary, and then the alternating week, they'll have Words Their Way. So I'm gonna put 2 cycle weeks, 2 cycle periods for me. You can see that now I'm doing my next one. So I have 2 of them, right? So this is 1 cycle period, this is another cycle period. So let's call this one A and let's call this one B. So in cycle A, and I can alternate A, B, A, B, A, B, and that's how I'm gonna be going all year long, A, B, A, B. My first cycle, let's say that my first cycle, I am working with my yellow group. So I'm gonna have 2 yellow groups. So I'm gonna have yellow group 1 and then yellow group 2. And yellow group 1 will get Words Their Way this week. And so all week long for those 6 days, I guess it's not really a week, but for those days in that cycle, they're gonna receive Words Their Way instruction. And I'm gonna go in depth and talk a little bit more about what I do every single day later on. I'm just trying to get you guys to understand the whole cycle thing. And so during that time, and let me actually make this a little bit smaller. So let's kind of erase, and I'm gonna do this like this. Here we go. So 1 and 2. So they're gonna receive words their way all cycle week. Well, I have green in my room, right? So I need to figure out what in the world am I gonna do with green. I have my 2 word study videos. That's 20 minutes, 20 minutes. That equals 40 minutes. So now I need to know what I'm gonna do with my green groups. So I have green 1 and group 2 because I have 2 green groups. Well, instead of doing words their way with them, I'm gonna have vocabulary instruction. Now this is gonna be something that's a little bit more independent, something that they don't have to necessarily have the instruction from me, because we're already doing vocabulary instruction within our small groups and within our bigger lessons that we have all together. So we wanted to have some sort of some vocabulary instruction. Ooh. And they're all week long for those 6 cycle days, they're gonna be working on vocabulary. So in cycle B, so once A is done, my yellows 1 and 2 are finished with their word study instruction. My greens are finished with their vocabulary. Everybody's tested on day 6. We're gonna move into cycle B. Cycle B will then reverse, we'll switch. But here's a difference. So some of my kiddos in yellows 1 and 2 will receive vocabulary instruction. And then some of them are going to receive high frequency words. Now I tested them and I kind of looked at where they were and the needs that they had, and just kind of getting to know some of my learners and really looking at their writing and seeing where kind of their focus for their needs needed to be. And we knew that we wanted some of our kids to really focus in on those high frequency words because they have a lack of them. So I've tested them. They've already kind of gotten their word lists and they're starting to work on some of those, and I've kind of chunked them together so that they could not try to concentrate on all of them because that would be overwhelming, but focus a little bit more on like 10 or 12 words for each cycle. And these are high frequency words. So while some of my yellows are working on vocabulary, which again is a little bit more independent, and then I had the other ones that are working on high frequency words, which once again, it's a little bit more independent. If you want to think about it, I would kind of relate it to learning high frequency words and having some of those activities and some of those like centers that you would have maybe in kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade, where they're really working on some of those words within like other little isolated areas in the room. My green groups, so green 1 and 2, will then receive their words their way instruction. So they will be on words their way all week long. And we continuously rotate them as we go along all year. I know it's not the most ideal thing because you're having some of them working, they're not getting words their way instruction every single week, but we felt like it was kind of combining both worlds and really making it meaningful and purposeful for our kids and for them to be able to receive other instruction that we feel as though they don't get a ton of. Because let's face it, vocabulary and their words their way or their kind of spelling patterns, those are always put at the back burner when it comes to teachers, and those are sometimes the hardest to try to fit into your instruction. So we felt like this was a really kind of happy medium. It may not be the perfect, most wonderful instruction that we want it to be, but we're starting to get there, and I guess we're making steps towards making it better. We're not going to say that this is the absolute best way of doing this. By no means is it. We know that there are probably going to be some flaws in it, but we're trying and taking steps as we go along throughout the year to make this better. We also did not want to overwhelm ourselves with trying to create multiple videos to put up online, because we just know that, you know what, life ends up happening. We have a life outside of school. I can't just sit there and make videos all day long to be able to provide instruction for them. And we also felt that with kids, research shows that they have an attention span of about 3 minutes when it comes to a video. So after 3 minutes, they're done. Well, some of those words their way videos, they're longer than 3 minutes. They're about 15 minutes long. And to get them to really stay focused during those videos, we're asking a ton of them, especially because it's not content that's going to be necessarily engaging for them. So we wanted to make sure that we are also making it engaging, making it purposeful, and they're truly getting the content out of it. So that's kind of the gist of it. That's how we end up setting it up. So my kids just got done today with testing out, and we walked them all through the exact same sort. So I had green and I had yellow. We all did a yellow 32 sort, which I felt like was a pretty happy medium. I didn't expect mastery from all of them, but I wanted to walk them all through the process. We did it with vocabulary, and now I did it with words their way. Now I'm gonna start splitting them. So I'm gonna start with my yellows tomorrow when it comes to their words their way instruction. My B's are going to be working on my greens are going to be working on vocabulary instruction, and then when cycle B comes, then we're going to flip and change it, and so then they'll get their words their way instruction. So that's kind of how we set it up. Tomorrow when I get back to the classroom, I'm going to kind of talk to you guys what we do every single day and show you some resources that we like to use inside of the classroom. Okay. I'm sure that I've gotten to, I think I've now been filming for 14 minutes, so I need to go and check on the potatoes, and then I'm probably gonna like put a video on. I've been watching a lot of Vlogmas lately. All right, we're about to call the boys up so that we can start to eat. The food is finally done, so I wanted to give you a little snapshot of what it looks like. It really looks so good. So here's what our food looks like. I cannot wait to eat those. I've been waiting for those all day. Or at least since I knew that we had a box. Okay guys, don't forget that if you have not already gone and used that link down in the description box and the code Bridget30, be sure that you go and do that. Grab yourself a yummy meal just like the one that I'm about to eat, and I will see you guys in the morning. I wasn't in the mood to wash my hair today, so it looks a little bit of a hot mess. It is so incredibly humid outside. I'm happy that I did decide to put it half up, half down, because it would not have cooperated in this weather. Today is a hot, very humid day. I think we're supposed to have a cold front coming through this afternoon, which is really nice. So hopefully I can wear a sweater tomorrow. But I decided to wear an outfit that I have already worn this year, so I'm repeating it, and I'm okay with that. So I have a J. Crew dress that my mom got me a while back, and remember it is like a long dress. I put a like a green t-shirt from Target just right on top of it, and then I paired it with a cardigan, the little cherry cardigan from Forever 21. I am actually not wearing a lot of jewelry today. I took my rings off because my hands were really swollen yesterday, so I only have my band on. I have my Kate Spade badge holder, and then I took off my necklace. So I don't have a necklace, I'm not wearing a watch, I'm not wearing much of anything. I am, however, wearing my fake Birks, so that's kind of what I got going on. So this morning I'm gonna do a little Walmart haul because I went to Walmart this morning, and I don't know why I want to do this. So let's go into some drink and food section first. I was naughty and I got 2 Diet Cokes. So I got 2 Diet Cokes in here, and then I also had to get some more creamer, so I got more creamer. I wasn't sure if I needed coffee. I did not get coffee because I have a ton at home that I could bring over. Pretty sure I have coffee, and enough for at least today. So yeah, they had like the 2 for 2 sale, I think it was. I also got some pepperoni, which is gluten-free. This is probably gonna be my lunch today, or I might go up for the gluten-free burrito. We'll see which one fancies my taste later. Okay, so going into some of the things that are not food related, I had to get some packing tape because my librarian has been asking me a ton, when are you gonna get packing tape so I can finish labeling your books? Well, honey, got your packing tape today. Well, I was walking by to go get the packing tape, and I was like, oh, scents. The little scenty thingies came up, and they're so good. So I got this one, which is a fall into autumn. Smells like fall, y'all. And then I got some batteries, and we're gonna put this into that little light to see kind of what happens with it. I don't think it's gonna work the way I want it to work, but I bought the batteries to go into the light. Well, I guess this is food, but it's also for an activity because we're gonna be doing fractions, and I have some of my crews that are working on equivalent fractions. I have some that are working on just like being able to draw fractions and being able to kind of see the fractions. 2 different groups of fractions kind of happen in here, y'all. I decided to pick up some M&Ms and some Skittles, and I think this is an activity that a ton of people do. I'm gonna make it very generic. It's not gonna be anything fancy, but they're going to empty a bag. and then they're going to give me the different colors. They're going to write the fractions. They're going to draw the fractions for me, either with a rectangle or something to that extent, or circle. I think a lot of my kids like to do rectangles. So it's going to be with a rectangle, and then I'm going to have my higher group be able to find the prime factorization. And then they're going to have to find the I'm getting there, hold on, prime factorization and the greatest common factor between the two. So that's what I got. And then I have a little sweet boy who doesn't ever bring a snack, so I bought some snacks for him so he can have them, and I just put it inside of his mailbox. If you want to be super discreet about it, because you don't want the situation where I think we had like happened 2 years ago, but we had kids who just didn't like the snacks that they were eating, or they would try to go grab snacks from like the snack area. I just put them inside of his mailbox in the morning. So I will place it in his mailbox and he'll have it and ready to go for the day. And that way nobody knows that I'm giving him a snack. He kind of has it inside of his mailbox. Nobody really says anything, and we just move along with our life. So I'm gonna put this inside of his mailbox. He'll have something for today, and I'm going to try to clean up everything else. Good news is that I did get the right size of the batteries. Bad news is that I have no way of controlling the lights from changing and which colors they change to. So that was a little bit of a fail. Now I just need to decide, do I return it or do I keep it? I don't know. You guys let me know down below in the comments. It was 40 bucks, y'all. Do I keep it or do I return it? Because that's 40 bucks. Okay, so I hear this like endless beeping that's happening. That means that one of the back doors is open and it's driving me bonkers. And then I am walking, so I'm walking back and I'm hearing this noise from the bathroom, TMI. And I see, when I walk into my classroom, the most glorious thing ever. It's Scholastic Book Fairs, y'all. It's happening next week. The kids are at special right now, and I just wanted to kind of check in with you guys because today has gone so much better than what it went yesterday. I think it's because I was prepared kind of coming in today. Yesterday they really just caught me off guard with all their chit chat. So I think I handled it in a way better, in just a better way overall with them. I'm spending a little bit of time during my special, and I try to do this during every special, just trying to clean up. So I'm not spending so much time right after school cleaning up the mess that I make as I teach, because I'm just a hashtag messy teacher. That's just how I roll. So now I'm trying to get all this stuff put away before the kids get back from special. So I'm gonna spend time cleaning up. I'll probably put a podcast on so I can listen to it, just because I enjoy listening to podcasts as I teach, and I will hopefully have it done. Crossing my fingers. You guys feeling me? Because this is how I'm feeling right now. They are making noises and it's just driving me bonkers. Oh my gosh, I'm ready to go home, y'all. I'm very ready to go home. It's been a very, very hard week this week, just as far as behavior goes. It's been a hard week. Okay, so what I wanted to do today is I wanted to talk you guys through my word study and what we do on certain days. And I started thinking, oh, I'm gonna just show you guys what we do like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, and day 6, because remember, we're working on a 6-day cycle for word study. So today it's my cycle A. So I had my 2 yellow groups, they got their instruction today on Words Their Way. My green groups got to work independently with their vocabulary that they're doing on the side. Okay, so here's kind of what I do during my day 1. So I have an assistant in here because I have 2 yellow groups, and I'm very, very happy that I had my assistant in here, because I don't know if I would have gotten both of my yellow groups done during this time. They're a little bit slower when it comes for them writing down some of their notes, so it took me a little bit longer. So when they come to me, they're gonna have 2 different things kind of sitting out on their little table, and this is kind of my little small group area is where I do it. One of the things that they're gonna have is going to be their sorts. Now, if it is yellow, I try to print them onto yellow paper so they have their yellow sort cards, and then they will also have a blank notes page. So here's kind of what the notes page looks like. Now, I have a resource that I use for all of the activities, the notes, the kind of logging some of the activities that they're doing. I have that as a word study packet that you can go to my store and kind of check out. But this is like one of the pages that's available in my word study packet. So the kids will come in and they'll have one of these that they have to, this is where they're going to be filling out and writing their notes for today. So what I will do is I kind of try to get the idea of what is it that I'm doing for my word study, or what I want them to focus on. The first thing that I'll have them do is I'll have them sit down and they're going to write out at the very top up here, they're going to write the type of notes that they're going to have. So they'll write sort yellow 24 notes, and then they'll put their name over here on this side. This huge blank space that they have right here is where they're going to put down all of their notes. So if it's like, for instance, we did yellow 24 and this was with long A, E, I, O, and U. So I'll talk about what is a vowel. We'll take the notes on a vowel. We'll take a note on a consonant. We mentioned that in a vowel, it makes two very special sounds. So it can make a long sound and a short sound, and a short sound has the examples of like bat, box, bed, and I gave them some examples for them to write down. For the long sound, I told them that it will say its name, and it comes in very different type of patterns. Like it can kind of hide and be in different patterns, and so they'll write all of these notes down. So an example of what kind of, I don't think I have all of the notes, but you'll see it here. This is where I write my notes, and I project it up on my TV so that they can see what their notes should end up looking like. So after that, we'll have a discussion. I think in this one was open syllables, so we had a discussion about an open syllable and what that was, but I didn't really go into any more detail with that. Once they're done kind of taking the gist of the notes, and I told them that they're listening for different sounds. So once I'm done with that, then I pretty much told my kids that they are going to cut out their cards right there in front of me. I wanted them to cut out their cards, and then I wanted them to sort them. I did not want them using the headers this week. I just wanted them to be able to listen for the sounds. So for them, I wanted them to listen for the long A, the long I, E, O, and U, and sort them by those sounds. When they had them sorted, and I kind of went through and I like helped correct and listened to help them listen to and stretch some words out with some of them, once they were done with that piece of it and I could see that their cards were all sorted in the correct order, down at the bottom they wrote down their categories along with the sounds or the words that they had here. So they had to write all of their sort words down in their box. And then that was it for the day. So once they were done with that, then they got to place all of their cards into a little pocket. So I got these from the Container Store, and they're a little expensive. They're 99 cents a pouch. So I don't let my kids take these home at the end of the year, and I tell them that they have to take really, really good care of them. But I like them because it's a very simple little pouch, has a little snap on the back, and it allows them to really keep track of their cards. So they will have their cards cut, and they'll store them inside of their little pouch and inside of their folder for the week, and they'll use them for activities all week long. So that's kind of the gist of how day one ends up working out, and this is every day one. From this point on, they're completing activities. So they're gonna get the opportunity to work on them during the mornings, during the afternoon times, during times that they don't really have anything else going on. They can pull out their word study and they're gonna complete it. I'm gonna get their little packets together for them, and then they're gonna get to make some choices, but there's not a lot of different choices. There are a couple of activities that I really want them focusing on, so I'll put it inside of their packet. I'm gonna get that ready tomorrow because I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to go home. By the way, my rug came in, so we're gonna go and unveil my rug. I ended up deciding that I put up little I can statements for my reading and my writing groups, because my math groups, I can have them posted up on the iPad since I use my iPad so much with them. For my reading and my writing groups, I just don't feel like I did that a ton, and I'm still kind of whole group-ish. So I put them up on little rings, and I'm going to show you guys what they look like. So I put them up on little rings, and then I just put it on a rod, and so it has like the big overarching goal, so the idea of where we're wanting to reach, and they have like the focus, the smaller little things that we have to do in order to reach that big goal. And I think it worked out really well. I like it, although one side just keeps falling all day long, so I had to keep putting it up. I put another magnet underneath it to help it hopefully stay there so it doesn't keep falling down. I'm gonna get my stuff cleaned up because I feel like I'm pretty good to go. All right, everyone, it is about to happen. We are about to put in the new rug. Oh, and let me show you this. So we've had wood sitting in our garage that we've been wanting to put up on a shelf, but it's a little bit of a pain in the butt to put up. And we were having difficulty on how to get it up in this little area because we didn't have studs where we wanted it. My husband is like a genius and he figured it out.
Whoa.
You're welcome. So I finally have my shelves up. I think they're gonna try to put one more, and we still need to figure out how to get the wires to be hidden, but it looks so pretty. So there they are. They're my shelves. Look how lovely they look. So look at how much of a genius my husband is. So we put one of the little rods because I don't know if you guys can see that. It goes in here and there's a rod. So there's a hole that goes in the middle of this and it just kind of slides in. Well, there's not two studs on this wall. So he put it on this corner,
well, that's not even
and
what
they
mattered.
notched it.
What mattered was that you wouldn't
What?
be able to push it in from here. You couldn't push it straight in.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
So it had to drop.
See? He is a genius. Oh my gosh, you're such a genius. Either way, it looks amazing. You still got to get the wires hidden, but I'm so flipping excited that now if I stand like this, I don't see a bunch of wires hanging down. That looks awesome. Whoop, whoop. I don't know why I just did that. I'm gonna give you guys a before shot and then I'm gonna give you the after. You're in my shot, Trentino. Okay, so here is the before. And here is the after. Look how pretty. It's a little bumpy, but I do really like the way it looks. I think it looks great on camera. Fantastic. It is Thursday and I am so happy that it is Thursday. I feel like my hair is looking really on point today. Today was a hair wash day and it actually ended up coming out really nice. I will have to say that the weather is probably on my side here because it is like 62 degrees outside. Oh, so nice. So I did pull out a sweater today. I am rocking one. So I got this one from Zara I think it was probably not last Christmas, the Christmas before that. So it is kind of old, but it had like these really odd sleeves, like they would open up and you would have to like tie them. So I cut off the ties and I just sewed them up. So you really can't even tell with them. I don't know if you can even see that difference right there, but I rolled them up just because it's not so cold where I felt like I needed to have them completely like unrolled. So I'm kind of rolling them up and then just pulling my sleeves up a little bit so that I can accommodate for the fact that it is not like 30 degrees outside. It's only 62. So I have, it's green. Oh, by the way, and I love green. Green is my favorite color, y'all. But it's this beautiful green color. I really love it. I'm pairing it with my Black & Taylor Loft pants. These are called the Marissa Skinny. I actually looked for you guys this morning. So Marissa Skinny, I don't know if they still have them. And I like that the sweater kind of comes back a little bit further in the back. And then I have them with my Clarks. My black ones that I wear all the time. I really do love these shoes. They're so comfy, especially when I'm wearing black pants. I've paired it with my Burberry watch. No necklace because it's just a high neck. And then I still have my Kate Spade lanyard that I like to wear. So there it is. It's way later in the evening. We just got done having our meeting. We filled out our SLO plan, which by the way, in case you're curious, I'm doing mine on reading responses because that's our big huge focus this year, is to help improve our kids' writing. They desperately need it. But I'm not going to talk about writing right now because I wanted to finish up talking to you guys about our word study this year and how we're kind of implementing word study. So I've talked to you guys through so far about like how we're rotating them, how are we going through the process of meeting their like individual needs. So we're using like an A cycle and a B cycle, giving them exposure with also some vocabulary words, some high frequency words to really kind of make sure that we're fitting all of their needs the way that they need it. So Day one, we work on a 6-day cycle. So on day one, I have my kids, they are getting their actual instruction. So that's when I'm providing them with their notes, the lessons, the cards. We're going through the sorting process. And then after that, it's pretty much just them getting that practice with the words. So I won't be meeting with them for the rest of the 5 days. Well, minus the last day where we're actually going to do our word study test. But I won't be meeting with them for the rest of the days because during Mac Minutes, instead of meeting with words their way every single day, which is not really needed because it's just practice, like independent practice, we're going to be pulling in passion projects. So yesterday was day one for us, and my kids received today kind of a little packet with some choice inside of it for them to complete. So the one that they received looks like this, and if you are interested in it, I do have a word study packet in my store, and this is what it looks like, and it is a Words Their Way packet. I am going to add a couple of updates inside of it just because there's a couple of things that I think I want to end up changing, and one of them is the choice board. So I give you 2 different options for choice boards, one in which you can kind of go through and add, they can fill it in and make their own choices for the week, and then I have another one that looks like this where it's a little bit more explicit and it tells the kids, you're doing these, you need to have all of these completed. It just kind of depends on what you want them to do. I am going to add in one that's editable for you, because I needed one that's editable this year. So you'll have these 2 options, but then you'll also have like a blank one that you'll be able to edit and add in your own pieces in there. So if you look at mine, I have certain activities here that they do have to complete, and then they get 2 choices with their word study test at the end of the week. So it's on a 6-day cycle. So what I'll probably do is I might put a few different options in there. I'll probably have one where it has like six blanks. I might do a 7, might do an 8, 9, and then a 10. So then that way you can kind of pick which box, how many boxes you want to have for that week or for that word study, and then you can fill in whatever you want to fill in. If you want to have some choices for them, great. If not, you want things to be very, very specific, you can add that in there as well. So there will be an editable version in there. So like I said, this is what I was giving my kids. And one of the first things that I do is I give them a word search. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, oh my gosh, Bridget, you're giving them a word search. Well, when you think about words their way, you're really looking for very specific patterns on some of these words, and there are studies out there that show that having kids really look for some of those patterns can be very beneficial when it comes to learning how to spell those words. So that is why I do a word search. I will leave a link to a couple of places that I use to build my word searches from online that are completely free down in the description box, so that you guys can go and find one that works best for you. So this one is from theteacherscorner.net. It doesn't print out exactly how I want it to print out. I don't think I've really found any like one particular word search generator that I've really liked how it printed. So if you guys have some other options other than the ones that I've listed below, I would so appreciate that. So I give them a word search that they do have to complete. It's not an option. And then I give them something called notebook pages. This is a product that I have purchased and I love, love, love them. So I will definitely leave a link down below. I am not a huge like TPT buyer person. I put up like random few little products of mine, but for me personally as a teacher, I just don't purchase a ton of products from Teachers Pay Teachers. But so when I say like I love this, like y'all, that's because it's good. So this lady, and I have no idea what her name is. I don't see it on here. Oh, there was kind of cut off. Either way, I'm gonna leave a link to them below. But she has 3 different versions and they're all meant for words their way. So she has notebook pages that kind of go along with them. So you'll see here that this one is for yellow 24 and it has something for them to write their words in the appropriate circles. And then it has different groups in this one where they have to read the words aloud and then circle the one that does not belong inside of the group. And there are 2 pages along with that. I think they're just really good practices. I think the notebook pages just kind of add a little something extra to the repetitiveness / the needing to just practice the words study. So I really like them. And then after that, I let them have choice. So they get to have 2 options where they get to pull in choices from a drawer that I have in the back of my classroom. And this is where my word study packet kind of comes in handy here. So this is the notes pages, and this is inside of my packet. This is what I use for my kids when we first take notes. So here's where the choices start to come into play. We have an ABC order choice, so that's just putting things in alphabetical order, and they write them in the little lines. I have a rainbow spell. Now, I think everybody kind of teaches a rainbow spell just a little bit different. For me, I have the kids grab 3 different colors. You're gonna notice that there are 3 lines right here. And so what they'll do is they'll take their 3 colors and they're gonna write the word 3 times in each color. So I'll probably write the word glass up here in purple, then I'll write glass again in green, and then I'll write glass again in red. So they're just simply writing the word 3 times with 3 different colors. That's how I do rainbow spell. So I make the kids take 2 pieces of paper. When it comes to rainbow spell, they have to do 2 sheets versus just 1. So that's why it comes with 2 in there. And then I have sort stories, which these are really fun. So what I have the kids do is, these are for some of my more creative students. They get to write a funny story using as many words as possible. And I try to challenge them to use as many as they can, and they have to circle the word in their story. Then I have picture it, which my kids love. They draw the picture of their word and then they write the word down here at the bottom. So I know what you guys are probably thinking. You're saying, okay, Bridget, there's not enough spaces for them to put all of their words. I understand that, and I don't make them do all of their words. So what I tell the kids to do is that they are going to take their pocket and they're going to pull out 1 card, and that's the card that they have to write the word down and they have to illustrate it. So they just kind of randomly pull them out to be able to do the drawings, and that's the same thing with some of the other activities that just don't have as many spaces for the words that you're going to end up having in your sort. So it's kind of like a random, like you pull it and that's the one that you're working with that day. And I think it's the same thing for code words. So there are some sorts where there's a ton of words and they just simply like pull it out. That's the word they write, that's the word they code. And code words is basically where they're writing their word down and then they have to create the code using the alphabet and the kind of the key up here. So they just write it out. They seriously really like that one. Sign language, I do like this one with my kids, but there are certain children that I have to kind of ban it because they actually will not practice it. There are some kids that I can truly trust, but you have to kind of gauge that based off of your own class. So for me, they have to sign the word. So again, they pull the word out, they read it, glass, and they will say, oh, G-L-A-S-S. So they spell it out using the sign language. And one way that I kind of got around that too is if you have Seesaw or anything and you want them to spell it on video and then kind of upload it, that's one way to kind of help with making sure that they're truly doing it. Sentences is another one that I really personally enjoy. I do challenge them because I say you must use 2 in 1 sentence. So 2 words have to be in a sentence, and then they are to circle the words in their sentence to show that they have both of them there. Then I have build a word. So my build a word is one that I'm probably going to tweak just a little bit. I want to put numbers here because that typically confuses my kids. So I'm probably going to put a number next to each one so they can see how many words that they're going to build. It looks as though there are 9. 9 words those are the words that they're going to build. So I have some little boxes in my room that allow them to build their words. So I have stamps, and I will have like a little stamp here. And I just get these from Michael's, these little containers from Michael's. So my kids will stamp words onto build a word. They will also do some with the beads and the pipe cleaners. So they'll build it on there and then they write the letters in each box. And then same thing with the magnetic letters. So they'll build it with the magnetic letters and then they write it into the box. So what they'll do is if I am using if I'm using this one and I am building the word hop, maybe, if I can find all the letters. I found some letters. All right. So let's say that they're building the word have like that. I would build my word have here. And then right next to where the number will start over here, I will put H-A-V-E. I will just write the word have, one in each block. So that's pretty much build a word for it. And I tell my kids, listen, if your words are too big, then this is probably not an appropriate choice for you to be making. Then we have Scrabble, which has very light, it has very light boxes in it. And so what the kids will do, and I will kind of train them to start in the middle, they'll write their word in the middle, and then they have to kind of create a Scrabble board with their words and try to connect as many as they possibly can. Another one that I really liked, and I enjoyed this one in kindergarten, is Type It Out. Again, you're gonna have to kind of maybe watch for some of those kids. There are some kids that I've just banned from using this because they just take advantage. They write the words and they don't really practice it truly. They don't truly practice the skill. So this is practicing with typing. They have to type it out, which is kind of hard for some of them because they don't know where the letters are on the keyboard. So this allows for them to kind of get that practice of finding the letters on the keyboard, typing it, and then they are writing the word down. The last thing that is inside of the packet is a spelling test, and what this is it allows for the kids just to take their test at the end of the week. So they have to put them into categories. So if they're listening and I will say, okay, your first word is glass, they're gonna put it in their first category here. They'll write their word down. And I said the second word is pass. So they hear the ah, and then they know that that's the short vowel sound that they're listening for. Then they'll just kind of write it underneath glass, and then at the end they'll tell me what is the pattern that they observed down here, and they'll make their categories. So it's the same idea of word study, and getting them listening and understanding and really practicing some of those patterns and those sounds, and it ends up working. Like I said, there are a few kiddos that I have to kind of watch for, and I think you have to kind of gauge your class and get an idea of how they work and what's going to fit best for your needs. But that is pretty much how I do it. So I have a huge like pile of papers now. So what I do is I gave this to them today. They started working on their word search. They'll have notebook pages, and then after that they'll come to the back of my room where they pull out the choices that I have kind of pre-printed for them. Here's where I have the choices for them. So I have them just kind of made and pre-printed out for them, so that they can just simply come back and grab it, and they'll just staple it to their packet at the end of it. During the spelling test, I try to see whether or not my kids have been able to kind of master it, or they're pretty competent when it comes to their spelling test. Did they receive a certain score of it? If they didn't, they have to retake the spelling test, and I continue to kind of move them on, and I will send a message home to parents. We're gonna be retaking this test. Make sure to study with them so that they can retake it the next day. So that's kind of how I implement word study. If you guys have any other suggestions or options or something that you would like to share with the community, be sure to leave those down below, because I'm sure people would really appreciate it, especially if they're truly struggling with implementing word study in their classroom. Because like I said in the beginning, word study is probably one of the hardest things to find time for when you're teaching. I think we do a really good job of finding time for reading and for writing, but word study is hard to implement. So we would always love and appreciate any ideas that you guys have. I am ready to go home. I think I'm picking up pizza for the kids because we ate all of our HomeChef meals. So I'm picking up pizza for the kids. Husband wants sushi, and I think I have a gluten-free pizza in my fridge. So I think I'm all set, and I'm gonna go home, spend some time with the family a little bit, and then I need to prepare for tomorrow. Tomorrow is DRA rotation day / crazy awesomeness. I'm gonna give you guys kind of the lowdown now, so that you kind of know what I'm getting into tomorrow. So what happens on DRA times is we have to do all of our running records. So the way that we have decided to do this on the Mac team is kind of unique and really awesome at the same time. So what we'll do is we split the day up into a 3 rotation day. So we have 3 teachers, 3 rotations. Well, when we split the kids up into these rotations, we actually only split them into 2 groups. Now they're larger groups, yes we know,
but we usually try to make the day fun and engaging and exciting, so that they're not kind of chaotic, crazy in the classroom. I know some people are like, well, isn't fun and engaging, it's not the same thing as chaotic, right? No, it's not. And then what will happen is that two teachers will have one of the two groups, so that's two of us who are occupado with the groups, and then one teacher will not have any kids in her classroom. And so what she will be doing is, as we have that time and we're kind of engaging in other activities in our room, she'll be pulling her homeroom to do her running records. So she'll have about an hour and 20 minutes to be able to get their running records done, and then we end up just switching. So we came up with 3 different activities to be able to have our kids kind of rotate through, so by the time we're done, all the 2 groups would have rotated in all 3 rooms. So tomorrow I'm going to be hosting the book tasting in my classroom, which I'm very excited about. So I'm going to have genre tables. It's going to be a little bistro, and I kept telling Jamie that I was like, I feel like I sound like what is it, like Count Dracula? I sound like Dracula. I was like, we're gonna have a bistro. It's going to be like we're tasting so many delicious foods. I don't know, I'm really bad. It's not good, right? It's okay, I'm gonna do my best. So it's gonna be like a little bistro in here. I'm gonna have tablecloths out, I'm gonna have plates out. We're gonna get little, I'm gonna go and stop at the Dollar Tree and see if I can find little tea light candles to put on at every single table. And we're going to have books out by genres, and so they're gonna do a little book tasting in the morning, or at least during my rotation. My partner Jamie is going to be working on a math like breakout session, so hers is going to be more math related, and then Kim is going, I was like, what is her name? And then Kim is going to be working on something that has to do with sharks and kind of pulling in some of that writing piece. So they're still getting reading, writing, and math, but they're just getting it in a little bit of a different way, and it's a little more engaging. So I'm pretty much just doing book tastings all day long, which is kind of nice. At the end of the day, I think we have about a 20 or 30 minute like quiet time where everybody's just independent reading, and during that time we're gonna give them popcorn. So for them tomorrow, it's PJs, popcorn, and DRAs. Like, that's all I got. That's about what my day is gonna be like, but I think it's gonna be a really nice Friday. So I'm excited. I'm gonna have to make a stop at Walmart in the morning. I don't know why I didn't think about this when I made the stop last time at Walmart. It's fine, whatever. But I'm gonna get my stuff prepared for that. Making sure that I have all my stuff kind of printed out when I get home today. And yeah, it's gonna be a good day. I get to wear like comfy pants. I'm excited about that. I'm good. All right, so I will see you guys in the morning. I'm gonna go get some pizza and some sushi, so good night.
Okay, so today is Friday and I am just comfy cozy, which means that it is a really, really good start to the day. So this is typically what I wear whenever it's like a pajama day for us, or we have the kids, like we're celebrating something. Typically we'll do it along with dojo rewards, or we'll do it like just after a good week, or just if we really want to wear something comfy cozy. And I don't normally wear pajamas, but this is kind of what I wear instead of pajamas. So I have a short sleeve gray t-shirt from Target. Has a little pocket. I like pockets. And then I have this, and I have no idea, to be honest, where it came from. I think my mother-in-law gave it to me for Christmas. She did give it to me for Christmas. But it's super soft. It's like a fleece material. It's so great and comfy and cozy, and I love it. And then I have these, which are my Under Armour pants. I don't really know which ones these are, but I got these from Dick's. And then I have some, what are these, Skechers? I have Skechers. Yep, these are Skechers. So I have these Skechers, which are very easy to kind of put on. I think I bought these in New York, to be honest, at the Skechers store, because my feet were killing me one day while I was there, and I needed something else to wear. So that is pretty much my look for today. So this morning we are gonna get started with our rotations, I think at 9:20, so we're starting pretty quickly. We're gonna get all the kids together. Jamie's gonna start pulling DRAs because it's gonna be her time to not have any kids. And then Kim and I are going to separate our two, make them into 2 different groups, and then get started right away with them in their rotation. So I'm going to really quick put out all the tablecloths, the little candles, and get it looking like a little bistro in here. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys really quick what my little book tasting tastings will end up looking like. So I'm gonna have a table here set up. I put out the plates just to make it kind of look a little bit cuter. These are Halloween lights. They're gonna have to do. I did not stop at the Dollar Tree yesterday because I completely forgot by the time I walked out to the car. So I found this cute little book tasting menu online somewhere, and I just kind of printed it out. It's cute. It has the genres in it, and it kind of talks about what a book tasting is. And then I have a tour of the genres tasting. So this is where the kids are going to be writing down all the information from the books that they are looking through for today. And so I was just going to have them kind of laid out up here so that they have an idea of what books they're going to have the opportunity to choose from at each table. So I thought I had more of these, and I knew I did. I just don't know exactly where they are. So I'm going to have to make do with using red, and then I have some of these that I purchased a while back when I found them on sale to kind of set up and make the ambiance look good. But it still looks really, really cute. I like it, and I think the kids are going to enjoy it as well. I am going to create a little makeshift like chef hat, and I will show you how to do that in just a minute. I'm going to create one of those. I have a little apron that I wear, and I even went out and purchased a mustache, which I think is going to end up being really cute. So I'm going to start getting that together so that I have it prepared for my first group. First step is cut out a long strip from a poster board. Wrap it around your head, get an idea of how it's going to fit, staple it. White tissue paper, all you're going to do is crinkle it together and staple it along the edge. And I might do like 2 of these. So there's one side. All right. There is my hat, and I have an apron. Does this look like a chef's hat?
I love it.
I need my mustache.
I can't look at you with that on.
Why not?
It's creepy.
All right, I have my little makeshift little hat, and then I have my apron. I'm gonna put on some type of like little bistro music in the background so that the kids can kind of enjoy it. And then I'm just gonna spend the rest of the 15 minutes that I have before they arrive just finishing setting up and making sure that everything is the way it needs to be. I will show it to you guys over my lunch break so you can see what it all looks like. One last little look before the kids come in and destroy it. There it is. Round one of the book tasting went really well. The kids were so engaged, and they truly did enjoy going around and looking at different books that they may not have picked previously. And then after they had the opportunity to kind of go through, I told them that they had to have a minimum of 3 books that they've really kind of tasted, and then from there we had a little discussion, and they got to share a book that they think that they would like to try next week during their independent reading time. So it was very exciting. I've got everything kind of reset up, went around the room, got it all cleaned up, looking good again for the second group that I'm gonna have. But right after lunch, it is my turn to do DRA, so I'm going to be pulling for writing records while the two groups are in the other 2 rooms, and then my last group will be right before our SSR time and popcorn time. So I am going to get together my DRAs. I'm going to eat some lunch, talk with my partners about next week, and yeah. Whew, I think I've been super stressed this week because I've had like lots of breaking out on the side of my face. So you guys are just gonna have to pardon that. I apologize. I am a little bit of a sweaty mess, but that is gonna be okay. We just got done having a fire drill as well, so it's a little chaotic. I'm gonna go eat, and then I will chit chat with you guys later. Take 2, y'all. Last group for today. It's the end of the day, and the kids have already gone home. I am gonna hang out for a little bit longer, try to get some things done, because I am not gonna be coming into school on Monday. My parents are going to be here. Well, my mom is gonna be here, and my brother will be here in town. So I decided that I just wanted to take the day to be able to spend it with them before they leave me on Monday. So I am getting ready to have a sub. I just wanted to come on one more time and say that today was such a fantastic day as far as our book tasting went, and really taking a tour of the genres is what we ended up calling the day. The kids had
so much fun just being able to kind of go around and look at new books. They got excited about some books and they're ready to start reading them, which is kind of what I wanted to gain out of this experience, and also getting them to dig a little bit deeper into some different genres that they haven't tried before. So next week, we realized that we were not going to get anywhere near as done with our DRAs for our running records as we thought. So on Tuesday when I come back, we're going to have one more day for rotations. I'm going to kind of stretch this, taking a tour of genres, and we're going to have discussions about the different types of genres. They're going to have some sorting activities that they'll be able to do in groups, and then some independent activities, because their next TDA that they're going to be doing, and this is their first one doing it independently, will be about supporting the genre of their text. So they have to be able to identify the genre and to be able to support it using evidence from the text and their kind of reasoning behind it. So we're going to be doing some more genre activities on Tuesday, and I wanted to say that if you were interested in taking a tour of the genres, and the little, I also have it as a book club selection. I'm going to update it with a tour of the genre, so I'm going to leave a link down in the description box so that you guys can grab that. I am also going to be updating, don't forget, the word study packet so that you can have one that's editable, and then I will be making a couple of changes on some of the documents that I've just kind of found I need to kind of change it up and clarify it a little bit more. So both of these are going to get updated. I'm putting it in the description box in case you're wanting to go and look at it. I do want to leave you with one last thing, because I think that this is probably one of the best ideas that I've had. But typically when I know that I'm going to be out, and usually majority of the time if I'm out, I know that I'm going to be out. I'm not normally sick out because I'm sick. I have this thing. So this bad boy here is my slides that I normally put up, but I printed it out and I made it really big so that the kids can come in and see it up on the board. So this is what they'll be greeted with on Monday when I am not here. Okay, so I am gonna go ahead and leave you guys. Do not forget that if you have already, if you have not already gone through and looked at that HomeChef link, and that you have used that code Bridget30 to get $30 off on your very own HomeChef box. Remember, that's 2 servings absolutely free. So if it's you and a spouse, you're getting food for free. You can't beat it. So you need to go and try it out, use it. I would love to know some of the food options you buy. I kind of have this little conversation with Kim every once in a while, like, what did you get? Today she had her very own empanada bowl. She brought it to lunch today, and I was like, oh, look at you and your empanada bowl. So we just kind of have fun going back and forth on what we're getting to eat from HomeChef. So be sure to go and grab that, snatch it up from down in the description box, Bridget30, and I will see you all next week.